Welcome back to Make It Mental, everybody. I'm almost finished with my Iron Man Camaro. It is fully operational. The rear wheels turn, the servo turns this wheels, although slower than expected, but it works, right? I might have an issue with the on-off switch. Might have to run it out the window right here, and I wanted to run the balance lead out of the opposite side, but it looks like because of confinement spaces, the body practically rests right on top of these wires right here, so just gonna run the balance lead right out of the backside. I think I'm just gonna hog off the plastic right in this area somewhere and then mount the body. Got to find my two appropriate screws for here and here, and then just affix the battery permanently. When you build something like this, just pretty much for the most part consider your battery permanently mounted. You're not going to do a quick change. Is it serviceable? Yeah, it's serviceable, but it's going to take work. Working on these smaller scale vehicles is very tedious and time consuming and can be problematic at times, to say the least. So for example, here is a very small drone. Right, I can hold it in my hands, and this one happens to be an air hogs, if I remember right. Battery or one of these motors is starting to go bad, so I'm always having to constantly trim it. But is the battery serviceable? Is it a quick release? No, it's not. Can it be changed? Yes. So that's how you have to look at one of these cars right here. When you build one of these, you're pretty much going to set the battery inside there and forget about it, and probably think about long-term charging. In my case, I like how I did the Tamiya. I just ran the balance lead out of the back and then just call it done. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this vehicle here. The switch is mounted in series with the battery on the negative side. It was removed from the ESC, because if you run it the way they want you to run it, the battery power is constantly going to the ESC. So the ESC is constantly going to drain batteries, constantly going to ruin batteries. So you don't want that. So the on-off switch should be more than capable of handling the power load of this motor right here and ESC. This ESC is allegedly rated for 10 amps continuous and a 30 amp burst for 30 seconds. I highly doubt we're going to see even 2 amps on this little tiny motor, but we'll see. This vehicle might be a total waste of time, but this one here, I intentionally designed it to be a budget build. The original plan was to use the guts out of the servo, put the servo motor here, then use the servo motor ESC, if you want to call it that, as the power source. But it is very, very finicky. I remember that from a long time ago when I was just doing some bench testing just with the motor. It does work, but very finicky, very touchy. It seems like it's either just a little bit of RPMs, and then it's all 100% RPMs. There's no happy medium. So this is why I went to the micro ESC on this particular build. This is supposed to be budget friendly. Of course, it helps if you already have a name brand transmitter of some sort, and then you just buy an extra receiver, stuff it in there somewhere. But everything costs money, everything costs time. Again, these are just novelty items. I think I'm going to definitely build a track for these cars one of these days, but I need to build a track for my drag car first before I build one for these. And then eventually I'll compare all 4 of them together, see which one has the highest top speed, see which one has the most drivability, meaning the most fun to drive, and then see which one might have the longest run time, so on and so forth. We'll try and do a fair comparison against all of them and see which one ends up working out better. As of right now, I have no clue.